don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped for this weekend, man. Cardano coming out, a smart contract finally. I've been waiting so long for this. It's a beautiful time to be alive in cryptocurrency. You guys are witnessing history right before your eyes. Sunday, I will probably be involved with a watch party or something like that Charles Hoskinson has been talking about. It's crazy. Now, I will want to say that it's probably not going to be a huge explosion of Cardano's price. So in this video, we're going to talk about a potential selling point for ADA. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about a potential selling point for Cardano, okay? ADA has obviously been outcompeting a lot of layer ones. It's been doing very well. It's number 3 on CoinMarketCap. By market capitalization, it's the 3rd biggest cryptocurrency. It's been around for a long period of time. Charles Hoskinson's the man, right? If that's how you pronounce his name. Billionaire dude that did not want to take short-term gratification for nothing. He built this product from the ground up with the long-term mindset, which I think is very, very noble. And Cardano's finally coming out with smart contracts. They've been promising it for such a long time, and it's happening on Sunday. So in this video, there's a potential sell point. I'm going to lay out 2 scenarios. It's not going to just be pure one-sided perspective. I'm going to lay out the investor scenario, and then I'm also going to lay out the scenario where if you want to potentially trade. Now, the only reason I would trade or sell or buy back cheaper is for the simple fact that I would want to accumulate more Cardano, right? So you guys know I've been in cryptocurrency for a while. I'm never going to leave. If I ever trade, it's 99% of the time because I want to accumulate more cryptocurrency. So for the sake of this video, that's exactly why I would trade if I'm going to do it. I'll give you my official decision towards the end of this video, and we'll go over all of the recent news, the FUD, the manipulation of Cardano's price, etc. in this video here. But before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, my name is Alex. I talk about cryptocurrency and entrepreneurship. This channel right here is a channel where we just make money. That's what I do all day. This is not financial advice, but I provide everything I say with factual evidence, and I back it up with my own research. I want to be very clear because I don't write scripts. I don't have people writing things for me. This is all of my research, okay? So it might be a little bit choppy. It might not be perfect. I might say a mistake. It's raw, uncut. And the biggest proposition of this channel is the simple fact that I would never, ever accept a sponsorship by any coin, which allows me to have an unbiased perspective on which cryptocurrency I am choosing to invest in. And then, of course, sharing that research with you guys. So please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on post notification. Okay, a lot of new people have been turning on the post notification. It's actually benefiting my channel a lot. If you guys want to invest into this channel, again, turn on that post notification, watch the video quick, and of course, like it, share it with a best friend or something like that wants to make money in cryptocurrency. So let's jump in to the actual topic of discussion. As you can see here, Charles Hoskinson, a couple days ago, came out with this live stream, and I'm just going to play the beginning here so we can kind of see his energy. We can feel his energy on this launch. Let me just play this really quickly.
Broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is September 7th. Let's make sure my broadcast is looking good. Yeah, it looks good. All right. Today is September 7th, and I want to make a very quick video to tell you guys that we submitted the update proposal. The HFC event is in flight. So for many of you who follow Cardano, you are aware that how updates are done, that once a proposal has been signed, the proposal takes effect at the epic rollover. The next one is going to be at 21:45 UTC on Sunday the 12th, which is about 3:45 Mountain Standard Time, PM Mountain Standard Time. So it's been triggered, submitted, the rocket's in the air. Either it reaches orbit or it doesn't. So no going back now. That means we're all a go for Alonzo. The Alonzo hard fork is going to happen on the 12th. So I will have a watch party. Look for our tweets and our communication channels. We'll all be there together live, and we'll witness the rollover. And that means that you'll be able to start submitting Plutus smart contracts to the Cardano blockchain. Now, there's an enormous amount of work that has to be done post.
So you heard it first. Cardano is officially ready to launch. He said it's either going to happen or it's not. It's pretty much out of his hands. We are set to launch on September 12th. This is a historic event in cryptocurrency. If you haven't been following, I remember, back in the day when Cardano was, even a small cryptocurrency. It was so small. It was so small. They just came out with like their research paper theory on how they take everything at a scientific approach, right? With actual research papers and stuff. And back in the day, it was just like such a far-fetched concept. Ethereum was like kind of just like creating and breaking things as they go. And I will say that it is a surreal moment that I got to watch Cardano go through this whole entire growth curve up until this point here. This is going to be crazy. I think Cardano only has about 1.5 million active wallets. I think in the future, maybe that might double with just smart contract capabilities. Cardano's ecosystem, when it comes to NFTs, are already taking off and exploding. Most of the Cardano supply is being currently staked right now. It's the most decentralized protocol out of the top layer ones, in my personal opinion. And we've noticed that layer ones that are not decentralized typically fail. Ethereum is not decentralized. They actually forked, right? With the whole DAO hack, this decentralized autonomous organization hack, they forked and they controlled the blockchain, reverted the blockchain. So a lot of positive things, in my personal opinion, coming out of the Cardano world. I think it's the best chance of being a layer one. I'll lay the case. And what I mean by being a layer one, I mean being the most adopted layer one. And I'm going to lay out the case for you guys in this video. Of course, first thing I want to read is this some other news. We'll go over some brief news. This came from the Cardano Reddit. This was interesting. I don't know if this is true or not. Leave a comment below if it's true, if you guys think it's true. Somebody knows something I don't know. I'll pin the comment or whatever the case is. In Cardano, staked ADA is not locked, nor is it exposed to any risk of slashing. I know that's true. The way that Cardano, it's basically, it's two different systems. And I think it's really interesting. Cardano is superior in the sense where if you want to send a transaction, they tell you exactly what the transaction is going to be, no ifs, ands, or buts. On Ethereum, you don't really know. It's kind of a randomly generated kind of set of parameters where they say, oh, the transaction could cost $5 to $15. In Cardano, they will tell you, oh, it's just 10 cents. Cardano, this transaction is going to be 10 cents. And then if it fails, well, we'll give you your money back. On Ethereum, they don't give you your money back. So, and it's the same thing with slashing and staking. So on Ethereum, when Ethereum 2.0 comes out with proof of stake, if you're a malicious actor and you are staking to a protocol that has a potential vulnerability, and for example, whoever you're delegating your stake to, they have issues on their node, you can get slashed, right? You can get penalized. On Cardano, they don't have that. So it's very interesting stuff. It's very, very interesting stuff. Therefore, a little known upcoming feature that very ADA can be remain staked while being simultaneously added as liquidity on DeFi protocols. This will result in a double yield. Things like this will get adoption. I don't know if this is 100% true. I know the risk of not being slashed is definitely true. That's crazy. And that's very interesting to me to know that they might have this feature. So I wanted to kind of open that topic of discussion there. Also right here, we see a lot of Cardano NFTs selling out. To my ETH, whatever friends, we just sold out 10K, dropping almost zero gas on Cardano. It was smooth and painless. I strongly suggest you take a look into this platform to diversify your NFT portfolio. This is around the same time where Vitalik Buterin is showing a little bit of shakiness. And if you guys don't know who Vitalik Buterin is, he is the creator of Ethereum. While he's showing shakiness, we need to move NFTs on a layer 2 ecosystem to cut fees. However, doing the right requires okay, he's just explaining he has a solution for it. But look, we need to move NFTs onto the layer 2 ecosystem to cut fees. Vitalik Buterin just recently tweeted this out. He's showing signs of fear. He's showing signs of fear, and so are the Ethereum community. Ethereum community coming out with this FUD. We talked about this video. Coming out with this FUD of how they did not solve concurrency. So we're going to talk about this whole entire little FUD situation, but basically I'm explaining what this is, and I explained it in my other video, but let's just explain it one more time. In a computer science, concurrency is the ability of different parts or units of a program, algorithm, or problem to be executed out of order or at the same time simultaneously partial order while affecting the final outcome. So in general, basically two transactions on a DeFi protocol, like automated market maker program or something like that, happening at the exact same time, and then them both being able to come to the final conclusion on a confirmed block, basically. So it just basically scalability. There was a lot of FUD going around in the Ethereum community that you could only do one transaction per block. This is not true at all. We talked about this before. There's a couple of explanations. Here's one of them. Concurrent and deterministic batching on the UTXO ledger. Very simple terms, guys. Ethereum uses a accounting based model, meaning, the whole entire blockchain is updated on one public ledger. With Cardano, it's a UTXO or extended UTXO model to where they store the transaction within the transaction. So within the first transaction, the whole history of transactions are among it, which gives it strategic advantages like scalability. Bitcoin uses the UTXO model, and of course, Ethereum uses the accounting model. Now, the problem with the accounting model is that you have to update the ledger every so often, which makes it congested. It makes it deterministic, meaning you cannot like predict the exact transaction fee that's going to happen. You have to give like a parameter, like, oh, maybe your transaction gets accepted. Maybe it's this price. With Cardano, it just seems to be like just a superior product in the way that they constructed it. And it looks like all the effort and the research they put into this and taking it slow and building this from the ground up and kind of capitalizing on the mistakes of Ethereum is playing out in a positive way. So there's just one example of a paper that represents them solving the extended UTXO, which is the small problem that Cardano has. And there's multiple people are coming out claiming they have solved the extended UTXO problem. ErgoDex came out with a solution, as well as Sunday Swap. So in general, this is purely just FUD from the Ethereum community. Obviously, their demo did not work. Cardano's demo did not work with Sunday Swap, but they have multiple people claiming they've already solved it. So that's a lot of credibility behind the fact that they have handled this issue. So it's all just FUD. I think the launch is going to be okay, but I also think the launch is not going to be as crazy as people think. Like, just because there's a date on it does not mean the price is going to pump in any single way. But before we go into the actual like selling point, like what is my speculation behind selling Cardano? Let's really quickly go into one concept. And I thought this was really, really interesting. How do I pronounce DSpark or DC Spark announces development of a sidechain protocol called Milk-O-Meta. Milk-O-Meta, okay, if that's how you pronounce it. So I foresee a world, and I'm already seeing it right now, where let's pull up kind of a drawing pad here. Let's pull up Paint because I have to kind of illustrate this a little bit. Maybe this might be a horrible drawing here, but let's do it anyways. All right, so I foresee a world where we have things like ETH, right? We have things like ETH, and we have things like ADA, and then maybe we have other things like Phantom. What is Phantom's ticker? It's FTM, I'm pretty sure. And then maybe AVAX. And all these, or AX, if that's his ticker. I don't remember his ticker. These are all layer ones. Okay, I want you to think about it. It's just layer ones, right? Layer one is like the first layer, okay? And layer ones have to be the most decentralized, have to have the highest security because that's like the settlement layer, right? This is where all the information is actually processed on these layers. So I foresee a future where there's layer twos that stack on top, and this is where the whole ecosystems are being created. So we have these layer ones here, ETH, right? And then we have a whole robust ecosystem of layer twos that stack on top of all of these layer ones like this, right? And I know this is a horrible drawing, but it's crazy because everybody thought like it's going to be, everybody's just going to dump all of their Ethereum and go straight to Cardano. And that's how it's going to happen. They think it's going to be like kind of this crazy event where Cardano flips Ethereum. I don't think that's the way it's going to be. You have to understand when a developer is trying to, make something, they're trying to make an app, they're trying to devote their life to creating something on a blockchain. I think it's more likely that they will pick an interoperable layer two. They'll pick something like this to where it works with multiple layer ones. It works with this one. It works with this one. It works with this one, right? And they can pick their settlement layer over time. That's basically what these guys are planning on doing right now. So basically what they're saying here is the latest generation of blockchains all address scalability in their own way. Everybody has their own version of scalability, right? So they didn't try to like make a whole nother new layer one. What they try to do is make a layer two to be able to utilize any of the layer ones. So what these blockchains do lack, however, is a robust developer communities and overall adoption, which the likes of Ethereum have managed to acquire. So I said this before in my last video, the only strategic advantage Ethereum has is it had a first to market advantage, and they have accumulated all the developers, and they have all the liquidity, they have all the infrastructure. So that can change over a long period of time, right? And what they're doing here is they're building out side chains with alternative virtual machines connected to layer one main chains, which use their cryptocurrency as their base asset. In other words, as an example for Cardano, they will allow sidechains to be developed and connected directly to the main chain and use WADA as an asset to pay for transaction fees. Okay. So basically, they're creating like I kind of drew out here in this horrible picture. They're creating a sidechain or a layer 2 that will be able to connect to any layer 1. And if that was the case, if all these layer 2s follow that trend, then what's going to happen is they're just going to pick the best layer 1 eventually, right? If they start building infrastructure on the layer 2 world, which we see a lot of layer 2s happening, they're eventually just going to pick the best layer 1, right? Because the only advantage that Ethereum has right now is a robust developer system and infrastructure. So if the layer 2 world starts developing this infrastructure, what are they going to need Ethereum for? I think it's going to be a slow bleed eventually, and I think it's just going to be what's the most efficient layer 1 to pick. I think that's what it is. And we all know that Ethereum has all these huge issues, right? All these huge issues, right? Even Vitalik Buterin is showing signs of weakness. I think Vitalik Buterin has already started to accept it, to be completely honest. He's already started to accept it, and you could definitely see it, what is his push towards layer 2s. And, like I said, Cardano could be the most efficient, maybe Phantom, maybe another layer 1 comes out of nowhere. But in general, it looks like Cardano is the most decentralized, the most secure. It has a sweet spot. It has a sweet spot of decentralization and security where nobody can control it. It just seems like the best option right now, for sure, as the premier layer 1 in the future. We're talking about very long time frames and multiple levels of speculation. But this is the big argument, right? So they will first deploy on Cardano, bringing EVM, Ethereum virtual machine compatibility into the ecosystem as initially envisioned in the Cardano roadmap. Okay. Future developments will open doors for interoperability between Cardano, Solana, and other layer 1s as well. Interoperability, as you can see here from Charles Hoskinson saying, interoperability is crucial for the mainstream blockchain adoption. Hong Kong, we don't believe there will be one blockchain rule them all. And I think this is probably the answer. I think this is the most likely answer. I think it should be for layer 2 developers to pick which one is the best. Like they shouldn't like some of them are going to be more secure, and some of them are going to be cheaper, and they should have the option to have different, layers, right? And maybe it's a combination of different layer 1s. Maybe it's like 4 different layer 1s at once confirming their transactions on their layer 2 solution. So in general, this is the theory for the future of Cardano eating Ethereum and overall winning. I think it was well thought out. I think they solved a lot of the problems that Ethereum has. And I think the strategic advantage of the robust ecosystem and developer ecosystem is probably going to come to an end with this layer 2 economy that's coming out in cryptocurrency. That's something to take in consideration. So let's talk about some speculation. When to sell Cardano? When's the best time? Again, like I said, I'm going to lay out 2 different scenarios. The first one's going to be investor scenario. It's very simple. I'm going to dollar cost average. We could see a couple of major events. I want to look at the top of Bitcoin because we all know that Bitcoin's price pretty much dictates the market. So let's look at it into comparison into ADA, right? So if we look at the date here, which is April 13th, at the exact top of Bitcoin's price, April 14th, April 13th, and we look at ADA's price, April 13th was right around here. You can see that after Bitcoin dumped, the price of ADA started to skyrocket, actually. So it was kind of like reflective. It was like, it didn't really follow Bitcoin as much. But right here, again, it's April 13th, April 14th. It dumped a little bit, but then started to take off, okay? So there's 2 big rally events. The first one was right here, April 26th, 2021. So if we look at some of the news around that time, this was the big piece of news here, April 26th, 2021 at 9:45 a.m., and it's basically just talking about just Cardano. This is really that simple. It's just literally highlighting Charles Hoskinson. Did they pay for this? Why was this out at the time? I don't know. I'm just explaining to you guys that, behind cryptocurrencies, and I've said this time and time again, it's 99% speculation. It really is. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Look at the price of Cardano pumping before the launch of smart contracts that are not going to be eventful. We're not going to see anything robust. We're not going to see, like a huge, like, decentralized killer app game or something. We're not going to see anything big. Like when Cardano comes out with smart contracts, it's going to be very basic, right? But we see all of this adoption of the coin. So it proves my case again and again and again. I've said it like time and time. Altcoins are pure speculation, guys. You have to kind of go, it's almost smarter to know like mass psychology. It's almost smarter to know like marketing and like what people are thinking more and like a thesis. It's much better to know thesis investing than to actually worry about like real projects that are actually being developed, because there's so many different products that are far ahead of Cardano right now when it comes to smart contracts that are not getting the adoption. So clearly they're just doing something right when it comes to that scenario, right? And this is probably one of the bigger reasons why. This is Forbes, guys, a big news outlet. Cardano pumped on the exact same day this article came out. And I looked it up. Trust me, I looked up other articles, and this was the most popular by far. It got a lot of exposure. So let's look at kind of like the second event date. This is when Elon Musk was tweeting a lot. And remember, we're looking at like Bitcoin's price here, right? So Bitcoin taken into consideration, how is Cardano reflecting from that? So let's look at right here, May 13th, 2021. Let's look at Bitcoin's price. May 13th was when Bitcoin was dumping consistently, was literally right here, that second dump. That second dump, we had Cardano take off again. If we pull it over here, May 13th, May 14th, right here, this is the biggest, candlestick we've seen on the same day. And if we look at it, it's again, kind of reflective off of Bitcoin. Basically, Cardano surges while Elon Musk is eyeing sustainable Bitcoin alternatives. We actually reported this when it happened. Elon Musk was like, oh, Bitcoin is not environmentally friendly. Bitcoin dumps. And then everybody was speculating that he was going to go to Cardano. Like specifically, this was happening. Cardano price down 10% following drop, but Alonzo testnet is almost there. Then we started getting speculation from the Alonzo testnet, right? And then people started coming out with Cardano's ERC20 converter. Look, May 19th, right? Look at the dates. May 17th, look at the dates. May 13th, the exact day it started pumping, was literally because of Elon Musk's tweet when he said that he wants a more sustainable cryptocurrency. We all know that he ended up choosing Dogecoin as his sustainable cryptocurrency, but the speculation came from the fact that he didn't want an environmentally, damaging cryptocurrency. So this kind of proves my point again. Cardano pumps off of speculation. So we know it's good for the price, but in general, again, what's the news that's going to come out? What new after smart contracts come out? We need real development. So from a price perspective, it doesn't really look too good for Cardano. And this article kind of highlights it here. JP Morgan issued a stark warning over the price of Solana, Binance, BNB, and Cardano as Ethereum rivals roar back. Basically, it's right here. Froth and retail investor mania currently coursing through the crypto market, signaling out Ethereum rivals Solana, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the market looks frothy. And actually, this is one of the reasons why I sold yesterday. Guys, if you want to get my calls, if you want to get my coaching, this is where I do it, thefundamentalsecrets.com. Go to the description below. It's coaching and coin calls. But this is exactly right. I sold before this massive dump we just recently experienced with some cryptocurrencies. Let me just pull up my course here and just kind of show you the actual evidence of that. As you can see here, I'm selling. I sold YFI. I sold some other coins, FTT, some of them profit, some of them not. The reason why is very simple. It just looks crazy out. It looks crazy out in the market. Now, guys, again, when I say sell, like people freak out. It's like I sell for the purpose of accumulating more crypto. So it's like I am so bullish. I want more crypto. So I will, yes, sell at the top and then buy back cheaper some of the times. And as we can see, they're down like 20%. So now I'm in a strategic advantage of being able to buy back more and accumulate more profits. This is the cycle I talk about. When I say cycle trading, this is what I do. Trend hacking, this is what I do. It's relatively, you can predict it if you have, just kind of like a logical perspective, not emotional perspective. Like what's next? Like Cardano is already top 3. It's number 3 on CoinGecko. How much market cap can it potentially accumulate, right? Now, it's funny because I didn't sell any Cardano because the way I'm looking at Cardano is an investment standpoint. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cardano dumps after the launch. I literally right after the launch, I would not be surprised if it dumps. Now, if I wanted to accumulate more Cardano, I'm doing it right now in the ERC20 world and on Ethereum just because there's so much more ecosystems, there's so many more coins. So I'd rather sell that. And also because I'm staking my Cardano. So I'm not going to sell Cardano per se, but I am like pretty positive it's probably a good time to sell Cardano before the weekend. Now, again, I don't have enough to justify me, going out of my way to have to jump on, it's very easy for me to just use my MetaMask wallet. I can't do that with Cardano. It's very easy for me to just sell on a decentralized exchange. So I'm doing it with other cryptocurrencies. I want to be very clear. But for Cardano, I'm looking at it as an investor. I'm not selling any, but I will buy the dip. And I would not be surprised if we get down all the way over here to $2. I'll probably start buying again at $2. That's probably a reasonable, it's probably definitely a reasonable price range right there. But yeah, as a trader, that's what you should probably do. If you're trading, you have a small account, you can't eat this dip. Like this dip affects you, there's nothing wrong with letting go of a couple of maybe half your bag, not even your whole bag. That's what I would do. I would let go probably like 60 or 70% and then buy it back, at the bottom here, because after the Cardano news event, there is no more positive news for Cardano. That is the biggest piece of news in Cardano's history is smart contract functionality. That's the biggest piece of news. And that's just an honest perspective. So you can get rid of some and buy it back. There's nothing wrong with that. And let's say hypothetically, the price doesn't go down, right? Let's say it starts to go up. Well, you could just get right back in. What's wrong with that? You lose a small percentage. It's all about risk to reward. Cardano's at its all-time high, right? Right now, it's currently literally, I think it's like literally right now is a good time to get rid of it. Cardano's like right by its all-time high. It's number 3 on CoinGecko, right? You guys know how I invest. I trend hack, right? It's number 3 on CoinGecko. How much higher can it go? It has to eat Ethereum. We just talked about a thesis of how it's going to take a long time for it to actually eat Ethereum. It's not going to eat Ethereum overnight. So it's probably smarter that you let go of Cardano, or at least a portion of it, and start looking at things over here that have more of an asymmetrical bet, that have more of an upside rather than a downside. Cardano has a huge downside. It has a huge downside right now, right? So I don't know. That's just my perspective. I don't have enough Cardano to justify me selling it. But if I had my whole entire net worth in Cardano, I would definitely get rid of majority of it and then probably try to buy it back cheaper. But that's just my perspective. Yeah, that's just my perspective. That's it for this video, guys. You guys got my official thesis. You got my thoughts, my perspective. I'm treating it as an investor. You got to treat it your own way. You got to look at your own portfolio, your own net worth, all the details behind your investment thesis and make a decision. You cannot look to other people all the time. You need to develop your own strategy. Please, guys, this is the one thing I preach on this channel over and over again. There's a reason why I don't accept sponsorships. It's because I was able to generate my wealth myself. Okay. And I like to dictate my own things, like having a product, right? Imagine if I had to accept sponsorships, I would have to tell you guys so I can pay bills. I would have to tell you guys to buy coins. I would have to tell you guys to invest in this product. I don't need to tell you anything now. I could just tell you that I have a coaching program, and it makes it that much more transparent, in my personal opinion. I can control the variables of my program, and I don't need anyone to tell me what I want to do. And, the variables right now are maybe you should potentially sell. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.